I'm gonna hit you so hard you won't see nothing. Ever, 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 ever.
Audio skulls all day.
The lyric scientist forever.
God bless America. There's more words to that song. I would think so. And I would think you would think so.
Since you brought that up, now that I think about it, why do people take their hats off and put their hands over their heart during that song at a baseball game?
I would think it's just a sign of respect for the flag. I mean, that's the way I've always interpreted it.
No. The national anthem is when you do that.
Yeah, okay. Isn't it? It's
No.
not. I know it's not the national anthem, but isn't it in like the same realm,
Nope.
same category?
Nope. There's no rules. There's no regulations. Nothing.
For either.
No.
So,
for the national anthem, for sure.
Absolutely.
100%.
Of course.
God bless America? No. It's just a fucking song somebody wrote, and it became part of baseball games. Just like buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack type shit.
I mean, it's a pretty good song, if you got to admit. The Peanuts and Cracker Jacks.
Yeah.
God bless America. I mean, we live here, folks, so we know. We know. And since we know, it's time for me to let you know, all of you, and welcome you to episode 188. Yes, 188 episodes of this here Mad Scientist Lab podcast. As always, it is IRJ, the pizza guy, along with Jared, the visual mad scientist. Jared, say hello. There it is. Oh, man, that famous thumb. I love it. It's like the dad thumb. I'm telling you. I love it a lot.
The dad thumb. Now, I'm definitely not doing it
Oh,
anymore.
you got to do it.
No.
Dude.
Don't tell me what I have to do. That is the worst thing to get me to do something is to tell me I have to do it. Because I would do the complete opposite of it.
Yeah, that's like the story of my life. Everybody tells me what I need to do, so I just do the complete opposite.
I don't think. No, we don't tell you what you need to do. We try to guide you in a direction and where you need to go. That's different.
Well, I was there when they invented MapQuest, so I know exactly where I need to go and exactly how I need to get there.
You weren't around when MapQuest was invented.
I was, dude. We used to print out like 8 pages of, printer paper to just go an hour and a half away, if you really think about it. Like that meme shows, it's like we were like pirates at one point looking for treasure.
Well, it was a treasure hunt.
I mean, you look at the map.
Take a direction this way, you go this way, and then you take that, go that way.
Isn't it crazy how navigation has evolved? I mean,
it's a little
with
thing
the
called
technology.
GPS.
I understand that.
And now I can't fucking for the life of me remember. Oh, Global Positioning System. That's what it stands for.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That was going to be my next question. Thank you for answering.
It took me a second. I was like,
well, yeah, but regardless, that's how we used to travel back in the day, folks. If you were going someplace you didn't know, some uncharted region of the Northern Hemisphere, you would have to go on to a website called MapQuest, and I think a lot of our fans are old enough to remember that. For the younger ones, that was the thing.
Oh, they're old enough to remember.
I would like. They're old. Yeah.
Keyword on old.
Yeah, old. It's been a reoccurring theme this week in my life. This is getting old, or that's old, or it's so hot in here that I feel old, and it was fucking hot at work. I'll tell you, our bay doors aren't working properly, so unfortunately,
sounds like another day at an American dealership.
It is god awful. It is. I sit there and I think to myself sometimes when I'm kind of watching the controlled chaos ensue, thinking, people do this for 30 years. That's crazy to me. That is absolutely butt fucking nuts.
What, at the bay door they're doing
No,
that?
just like the dealership life, that whole.
Oh, yeah.
It is a
different
world.
There's a lot of things that people do for 30 years.
It's crazy to me, man.
I don't think nowadays, though, it's going to be that way.
No, and I agree. I
just think
I think people are a lot smarter nowadays, too.
They're smarter. I wouldn't even say that. I think there's more choices available, and there's many different ways to make money besides just
the standard.
Waking up, going to an office, working from 9 to 5, and going home and doing the same thing the next day and over and over and over again. I would fucking, I don't want to say what I would do if I had to continue to do that. But that's why I've been working to try to get out of that world, because it's just never been my thing. Like, my brain may be ADD or whatever it is.
You're fucking dumb.
I can't. No, motherfucker.
I just wanted to say that.
It doesn't work. Like, repetitive shit over and over again, to me, gets boring very quickly.
It does. It's the definition of insanity. To
To
a degree.
No, I'm not saying that whatever I'm doing is not working. That's not the definition of insanity. It's if you keep doing the same thing over and over again without and expecting the same result, that's insanity. But if you go to a job and you have to do the same routine day in, day out, that's just fucking monotony, and I don't do well with it.
It's not good for your spirit.
No.
And I have...
Or creativity, and I have to have a creative outlet somehow.
And I think we can all agree, for every regular, hardworking American citizen, non-American citizen, whatever, you get wrapped up into the machine, the cog of life.
I wouldn't include non-American. I wouldn't.
Well,
that's mostly a North American thing.
Okay, all right. So
other places have like the productivity, the product line, but our educational system is designed to create that assembly line of worker, the robot worker that goes to work inside and every day in and day out.
we're essentially like kind of fucked from the womb. Like,
Yeah, that's how they designed the system.
man, dude, this is
Thank Henry Ford. Thank your boy Henry Ford. Oh, guess what? You contributed to that book.
First of all, it was a car. It was cheap. I was there. I didn't know what to tell you. If it was a Kia, if it was a Nissan or whatever it was, not a Dodge, I would have driven it.
You know, one of the things that they teach in marketing classes about, like, it goes into like the 4 Ps and all this, like, not technical stuff, but shit that I want to go into. But one of the things about Henry Ford, his strategy for marketing, because he was like the only guy on the block for the most part.
Yeah.
And he would basically, the marketing shit for Ford back then was, you can have any color you want as long as it's black.
Yeah.
Because there was no other colors.
Yeah.
And like you had to, that was the marketing for the shit. But I mean, over time, it's obviously gotten way more sophisticated because it's borderline hypnotic nowadays.
Yeah, certain colors, and
God damn it, no. I'm not, don't even fucking bring that shit up. No. We're not talking about it today. I'm sorry.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
You know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Oh, I was going to talk about.
No.
I still don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, Al's here. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, well, Al, thank you for joining us. And just, I told him earlier today when I spoke to him very briefly, to our friends up north, up in old Canada. Happy Canada Day to you guys. All right. It's their equivalent to the 4th of July.
Put those damn fires out too.
Yeah, please. Oh my God. The air quality this week has been awful. Yeah. Good Lord. But I'm not going to blame you, Al, for probably the only one thing that I will never blame you for, because I know you're not there. But happy Canada Day to all our good friends up north. Celebrate, have a cold one, blow up some fireworks if they do that in Canada, or they get syrup out of trees or something. I don't know what they do there.
I think they get syrup out of trees.
They probably do.
Hey.
And it's probably like the one ancient tree from Canada. It's like the elder tree.
Some new maple syrup, eh?
Dude, that's kind of crazy. What do you guys do for Canada Day? Are there fireworks? Are there pancakes?
It's not us. They're not us.
Yeah.
We are very unique in who we are as a fucking part of a country in this world.
Oh, man. And as we like to say on this or as I like to say on this show, folks, that's very American. It makes us a real American. But nonetheless, Al.
You fucking Hulk Hogan now?
Speaking of that, I actually was going to talk about something about that very briefly. But happy Canada Day to our friends up north.
All right. Fuck that.
But it's not as
our
great.
Fucking weekend is fucking way better.
Yeah, so I was going to say, so for all of you out there, the real Americans, we hope that you all have a very safe, happy, and destructive 4th of July weekend.
Okay, destructive is a little far. But.
I mean, I don't mean like in terms of causing anybody harm, but if you have fireworks that are illegal, please set them off, because that is what Americans do. We disobey the laws in order to celebrate being an American. Isn't that kind of like ass backwards when you really think about it?
Actually, it couldn't be more American.
It is the most American thing there is.
Yeah, like they make it illegal so you fucking can do that shit.
Man, dude, love being an American.
Some days.
Yeah, some days it's pretty like, oh, God. The world's probably like, oh, God.
Oh, 100%. They look at us like we're fucking insane.
So since the 4th of July weekend is upon us, and again, hopefully everybody has a nice, safe one, all jokes aside, Jared, are there any particular 4th of July memories or kind of traditions that you kind of get into? And I know you're not big on following the masses with, I'm
not even big on 4th of July, to be honest.
Never been a thing for you?
No, I mean, when I was younger, yeah. I don't want to get deep into all that shit, but anyway.
That's fine.
One of my favorite ones is that year that me and Big Dave went down to south of the border. We left Lucky's after working all night, probably got off left at like 3:00 from Lucky's, drove down to south of the border.
Yeah, hell yeah.
All night, got there before the places open, all the fireworks places open, and bought like $1,500 worth of fireworks.
Man, dude, I'll tell you.
Brought those motherfuckers back and had probably like a 30 to 40 minute fireworks display. Because where it was, you saw where I lived, how the backyard was. Or
yeah,
the back of,
you had that kind of like little deep incline, like that little.
It was an incline,
yeah,
but then at the bottom was flat. So
yeah,
we built a whole platform. Like we took screws and put the mortar tubes in on the wooden platform,
which is a very, believe it or not, I feel is very proper way to handle those things.
We had to, because there's trees right behind there and there's houses, so like everything needed to go straight the fuck up.
Yeah, because
it would have been a
nightmare. Yeah, because with for those of you who don't know,
you're asking me a question, but you're not letting me finish my answer.
Well, I was going to get into it, but yes, please finish your question or thought.
Let me finish.
Yes.
So we lit those off. And, like, the whole neighborhood started coming out. People were on their deck watching over from the top of the deck. And, like, these shits are going. And we got boxes of, they call them cakes. Mm-hmm. And you light those, and they go do. And then we're getting the next ready to go. So it's just like a fireworks display that you would go to and watch. And so the whole neighborhood's out just watching. And at one point, a cop pulled up on the street. And we thought he was going to come down there and say something. He was just sitting there watching the display because he saw that we were, for the most part, being safe about it. So he was just like, oh, well, fuck it. And then when it was over, he rolled out and kept going.
See, we need more cops like that in the world, man. Reason being,
he saw that we were taking precautions enough to.
You're not out here fucking chasing your neighbor down with a mortar tube in your hand.
Yeah, exactly.
And those who are not familiar with what a mortar shell is, it's basically a nice round encasing of gunpowder, I guess, to say the least, or explosive material.
Yeah, it's kind of a casing. It's
a shell. Is that?
Yeah,
yeah.
It's paper. It's paper, but yeah.
And the whole purpose of it is to drop it in a very vertical like tube and watch it launch 150 feet in the air and explode into a ball of fire. And it is probably some of the most badass shit you'll ever see. I'm sure we've all seen them at some point in our lives. Yes, they are very loud. So shout out to Jared and Big Dave for taking the proper precautions for setting those tubes up.
I think I got videos somewhere. Well, it wasn't just me and Dave. It was
group effort.
Yeah, it was a group effort. We all put in on it. So, like I said, 15. And then we had some left over. So you were there the next year.
Yeah.
We basically lit off the rest of them. And that was a lot, too.
Yeah, no, we were out back for a while. But for anybody that knows the way a mortar shell works is that it comes in this nice little, are they made of cardboard, those tubes, or some sort of?
It depends. The ones we got were cardboard, but it's thick cardboard. It's probably it's half an inch thick.
Yeah, so it's not like just your standard like box cardboard.
But some, they can be made out of PVC pipe too.
That's what my grandfather and my dad used to use
for
a lot of different things. Not so much mortar shells, but for...
The fuck? Oh.
What?
Oh.
Do we have
$1 from the best sorcerer in NA.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that's got to be Al.
Thank you, Al.
Thanks for the dollar.
Yeah.
Like, fucking up your game, son.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, if you're the best sorcerer in NA, we're expecting at least $3, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, if you can't get to 5, it's fine, but 3 is better than 1. Regardless.
I'm not used to those sounds yet. Like, when we start getting more donations.
I thought we were being invaded, dude.
No, but that's only the second time we've had it happen, so.
Al, thank you very much for the dollar, sir. Much appreciated. That's going to go towards something of significance at some point in time in the near future. But if you've ever fired off a mortar shell or dropped one into a tube, you know that it just kind of sits there on a little wooden pallet built onto the tube itself. But what could potentially happen if it launches, sometimes that tube can knock over.
Well, that's why I said we took screws and screwed it into we had a piece of plywood, and we tried to make it as even as we could on the bottom. I think we used bricks, but then we had a piece of plywood on top, and then the casing, the bottom base of the tubes were plastic, so it was just thin plastic. So we took screws and put screws in all 4 sides, and that way we had a couple, probably like 4 or 5 tubes set up, and then the cakes were set to the side so they could just do their thing, because they're automatic. You just light them and they go. The mortars are the ones that you gotta light the fucking wick and then drop it in. It's kind of long, so you could probably go without. But my finger was fucking burnt after that shit, just from taking a lighter and.
Oh yeah, dude. When you light off a good chunk of fireworks, you're gonna have some, I guess, some thumb rash, some to a degree, and I think that brings up and this might sound like a silly conversation. What type of light do you just use? A standard Bic lighter?
It was a Bic, bro.
Yeah, you just use a Bic, or do you use one of those ones you use the long ones for the grill?
It was just a Bic.
Just a Bic.
Yeah,
just a Bic, baby.
I think we might have had one of those candle lighters, but those run out pretty easily.
I think so too. I used to use a blowtorch. Well, like one of the little butane ones, like the smaller ones.
That would have been nice. Like if I like the ones I use for cigars, cigars, that would have been nice to have, but
because that shit catches like that.
But I didn't have one, so but we just used what we had, and like we'd have to light it, run, and it was hot and muggy, and then the smoke would just sit down there. So we're sitting in the smoke. I was sweating by the time that shit was over, dog.
Well, I mean, that's a good indication that you had some good shit. It was a good.
And the whole neighborhood was out front of they were behind the houses. So, because where we were at, like some people were on the deck watching us.
Yeah, just visualizing how your layout was.
Yeah, but then most people were just out because they were going so high. It was going way above the houses, so they could just go in the middle of the court and just watch it from there. And
with the mortars, my dad got me into them when I was real young. Him and my grandfather. I remember my very first trip to Phantom Fireworks in Breezewood, Pennsylvania.
I was going to say that's Pennsylvania.
Yeah, absolutely. And for local people, especially here in Northern Virginia, the DMV area, just like south of the border, Phantom Fireworks is like the place to go to get the cool shit.
In Pennsylvania. There's way more shit in south of the border.
Yeah, but regardless.
I know what you're saying.
But I remember I was about 5 years old, and it was maybe a week or so before the 4th of July, maybe 2 weeks before. But me, my dad, my grandfather got my grandpa's truck, drove up to Breezewood, and, I'm learning at this time. I'm a very small child, and we got up to Phantom Fireworks, and for those of you who think that this is some big lavish factory where they build fireworks and all the magic happens, no. Phantom Fireworks is like the size of a gigantic gas station 7-Eleven. That's exactly what it is, with a big wooden sign outside with the black cat on it and the Phantom of Phantom Fireworks, and it literally looks like a rundown gas station. And you go inside, and it's, again, no bigger than a 7-Eleven or gas station, and there is probably thousands and thousands of dollars worth of explosives just sitting on the shelf.
Yeah.
So you go in, you get your shopping cart. They have shopping carts in this place. And the year that we went, my dad was so adamant about it, and I'm sure they do it on occasion, is buy one, get one free. So it's like, oh,
they do that all the time,
and
especially around 4th of July.
oh man,
They can't. That shit goes old. It gets old after a while. You can't just have them sitting there on the shelf forever. So
of course.
Well, you know what? Because what they're charging is probably way more than what they cost to get those motherfuckers in anyway.
Absolutely.
Because it's paper and gunpowder. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Built on American soil. But I remember going inside, pushing the shopping cart around, and my first experience with the mortar shells, my dad was like, RJ, this is it. And we see there's so many different name brands, this, and that. And I watched my grandfather collectively kind of scoop them up, like just like this, like he was about to pick a child up. Scoop them up, just drop them in there. He was like, okay, that's one. And I'm like, all right, so we're moving around. And this, coincidentally, is the same day that I experienced my first encounter, hopefully my last, with a tick, an actual tick. Mm-hmm. I went to go reach for...
Well, you don't go outside, so you don't have to worry about that.
I will let Jared slide with that one for a moment because it's absolutely not true.
That's 100% true.
It's 100% untrue, but I'm outside all the time. Catch me outside. How about that? But anyway.
Outside in a garage with the door open is not fucking outside.
Look, if I'm breathing in the smoky Canadian air, then I'm outside. Regardless.
That's not the Canadian air.
No, it's something. It's something, all right. So I remember going to reach for something. I don't know if it was like a Saturn missile or a Roman candle or whatever. And I look at my hand, and granted, I'm 5 years old. I'm deathified of bugs in general, but not anymore.
Get to the point, please.
There was a tick on my hand right here. Mm-hmm. And I reach out, and I scream like a little girl. I'm like, ah! You know, and then my dad swipes it off my hand, stomps on it like it was like a real threat to me, but I think it was just his instinctive reaction. And I'm sitting there, and I'm freaking out. And I'm freaking out. And he's like, it's okay, RJ. He was like, it's okay. He's like, it's just a bug. It's dead, blah, blah, blah. He was like, here, you see this? And then he did the same thing my grandfather did. He just did like the half arm thing and just scooped some more stuff. And it just kind of fell into the cart. He said, we got some cool stuff. Wait for it. And I'll just never forget this trip as long as I live. So my dad and my grandfather. Now, granted, when I was 5, it was probably 1994. So it was a long time ago. Jesus Christ, I'm old. Regardless, my dad and my grandfather spent $300 on fireworks, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it was a lot of money, back then. So we got all this buy one, get one free shit, and they're excited. We're happy. I'm still fucking freaking out about the tick. I think it's in my hair. I think it's in my ass. All of a sudden, well, not so much my ass, but on me in some way, shape, or form. Mm-hmm. We get back home, and my grandfather, he lived in Manassas. So... go up to his house, and he was like, here, let's try one of these out before you guys go home, before, we do the whole thing the following week. And my grandfather, who was in the Army, just has PVC pipe laying around his house for no reason in particular.
Wait, this whole entire story is for you to say you guys use PVC pipe?
No, not at all. I'm just telling you, this is just a good, fun 4th of July story from my childhood. That's all. And so gets the PVC pipe out, lays it in his front bush. Pretty big bush, too.
Oh, my.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big bush. That's all I can say.
He took his pipe and laid it in the bush, huh?
I wonder if everything really is subliminal from the room, but it's okay.
Emotional damage.
I'm sorry. I can't believe we didn't think of that one before. But he shot off a couple bottle rockets. Nothing crazy, and I was captivated. This was like my first real experience with fireworks. Like, and just a couple little pops and bangs. Mm-hmm. So my dad said, hey, it's late. We're going home. Week later comes, go back to my grandfather's house. It's 4th of July. Got the grill going, got your burgers and your dogs, your condiments, and then the mortar shells came out. Okay, so, and granted, back in the day, and I'm sure it still holds true to this day, from what my dad was saying is, the Virginia state law says certain things can't go more than like 30 feet in the air or just...
Yeah, whatever. You can't, it's like, you can't really have explosives and something like, it's like 30 feet or something.
Something ridiculous. And for anybody who
it's still the same.
And I would think it would
That's why you can only get fucking sparklers and
nobody wants that pussy shit.
What are the little snakes and fucking poppers. Like, nobody wants that shit.
Yeah, kids don't even like that shit. You know.
Oh, they do. If you give a small kid a sparkler, and
Okay,
they can run around with
sparklers, I will give the one benefit of the
that's
doubt with
like
a sparkler.
that's like, oh my god, yeah.
And you can write your name with it and
Yeah,
everything. Yeah. Okay, so sparklers as a kid are cool. I have no beef with sparklers. However, I feel that I got lucky, and Jared was probably, when you came out of your mother's womb, you were probably holding an M4 with a grenade in your hand. That's how I imagine you being
When
born.
I came out, there was no M4s.
Well, that's how I know you designed it. So, regardless, when I think they were like, oh, well, what year was Jared born? I was like, well, Jared wasn't born. He was created as an American. And then you have a grenade in your hand with the pin in your mouth, and then the gun, and then the whole belt of ammunition. That's how I picture you being born.
Why do you think that?
Because one, it has to be correct. There's no other way. There's just no other way to me.
I mean, it does run in
You
my family.
You probably read the doctor his rights.
It does run in my family. Like, I come from a multi-generations of people that were in the military.
Yeah, and honestly, same here. My great-grandfather was one of the members of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. That's crazy to
You know
me.
what that is?
I don't want to hear that word.
You know what it is.
If you don't want to hear Al talk about that one thing, I don't want to hear you use this word today.
Okay, all right. I won't.
Well, he won't do it here, but he'll do it in the car because he's a dick. But regardless, I think we got really lucky with some of the stuff we were exposed to younger, because I remember the first time I saw a mortar shell launch out of the tube, blow up in the air, I was captivated. I was like, wow, this is cool.
I think that's anybody when it comes to fireworks.
I know, but still, your first
It's
experience.
just the sound and then the it's pretty sparkly lights. Like, that's everybody.
Yeah, it's fucking cool.
And if you fucking, I don't know. I guess there's some people who are like kids they get scared of the noise, but once you get over that shit, then I don't think I like hearing shit blow up. That's just me.
Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. Not only one did I think this was cool, we were, quote unquote, breaking the law. So I felt like the coolest kid in the world. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh man, we're launching illegal fireworks off right here in this random neighborhood. And so the day goes through, family comes over, this and that. We're launching stuff off. And so my grandfather's like, hey, I'm going to light one. And some of the neighborhood kids came around. And I've told the story on the show before, but I love sharing it every year because it's...
I don't think you have, but go ahead. This seems way longer than it would have been if it was.
Well, it's just all coming back to me because lately, folks...
All right, get to the point.
My grandfather wanted to launch some fireworks. It was just, I think, just like some bottle rockets, nothing crazy. And so we all run across the street. And as we're running across the street, and granted, it's not a big road, cop rolls down the road. And we're all running. He pulls up in front of me. Said, hey, young man, what are you running from? That's what he says to me. Granted, I'm 5 years old. This is my first time ever speaking to a police officer. Yeah, any of that. I said, oh, my grandpa's about to light a firework. And he was like, really? Yeah. He was like, sure. And so I turned around, ran back. So he pulls the squad car up to the curb. And what I didn't know at the time until I didn't know afterwards, obviously we have a bunch of illegal shit.
So you're a snitch.
This is when I learned not to talk to police. This was my first encounter with a cop.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. RJ is a snitch.
And we will be editing that out because I cannot put any damper on my hood classics that I've made. But regardless. So
the damper's been gone because you don't even act. You don't even. Bro, shut up. Shut up about the hood classics. It's over. It was a fucking 3 lifetimes ago.
There's a point in time in my life, though. But regardless, so he gets out of the car, and my grandfather has this driveway that leads up into where you can park the car, but it's also attached to the backyard. It's like one straight shot. There's like no back wall, nothing. Goes right into the backyard.
Okay.
Cop walks up to my grandfather, and my grandfather's just sitting there all calm. What's going on, officer? Well, they say you're launching off fireworks, this, and that. And luckily enough, my grandfather had some of the little pussy shit that was laying around. You know, the sparklers, the little pop rocks. He was like, he was like, come on, man. He was like, I ain't got nothing here. Mm-hmm. And I guess they commenced in talking. And the cop was like, all right, you guys have a nice, safe 4th of July. And he left. And so drove off, and I ran back up. And I was looking for my dad. I was like, where the fuck did my dad go? So I walked to the backyard, and I see my dad with 2 boxes, big boxes, by his feet with his back pressed against the house like this. And I was like, Dad, what are you doing? And then he's like looking all annoyed. And he said, RJ, he said, don't ever talk to he was like, don't ever tell them what the fuck you're doing. So my dad was basically hiding $300 worth of illegal fireworks in my grandfather's backyard while a cop was talking to him out front.
Jesus Christ.
Which I thought,
Bruh, that was a 10-minute fucking story.
that's great. Everybody got every little detail, and they'll remember every single bit of it. It's like a book.
No, they won't.
It's the Book of Richard. The Book of Richard. That's going to be the name of this podcast, the Book of Richard.
No, it won't.
It will be. But
The
regardless,
book of Dick.
the book. I'm not complaining.
Emotional damage.
I can't believe we haven't used that sooner. But no, I really like sharing that story because it's probably one of my more favorite childhood 4th of July memories. So if you guys have any memories out there or anything recent or from eons ago, always share them in the comments. Let us know. Do you have anything crazy that happened? Anybody lose a limb? Anything like that? I mean, I got a couple of them. But regardless, the 4th of July is always a fun day to just kind of do illegal shit as an American. And that's what I got to say about
I can tell y'all a little something that I got from that whole story.
Emotional damage.
Since the womb, folks. Since the womb. But regardless, get your grill out, get your dogs, get your burgers, get your brats, get your condiments, get some bread, corn on the cob, maybe some beans, bush beans, okay?
What's happening today?
Nothing. I'm just talking about how American we are, Jared, and how we like to eat beans, bush beans. I'm just telling you. It's true. And corn on the cob.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. It's not like I don't need it.
I don't like it because it gets stuck in my teeth.
Well, it's corn. It's like, it's like popcorn.
No, it's not. Corn on the cob. Bruh.
It's like
Did
popcorn.
you say corn on the cob is like popcorn?
Yeah, it gets stuck in your teeth. I'm not talking about the properties of it, but it still gets stuck in your teeth. It does.
If anybody would like to know what the fuck this guy's talking about today, please write in the comments and explain, because I have no idea.
It's all right. It's all right. But regardless, I am done with my real American.
Thank you, Al.
Don't listen to anything Al says. Don't. He's just gonna.
He said, "All right, time for RJ to shut the fuck up."
Yeah, and then the moment I'm quiet for 2 minutes, why aren't you talking, RJ? Am I boring you? Like,
Wait, what is this?
No, I'm talking about Al. I'm just talking about in general. Because unfortunately, the stigma follows around RJ. Oh, RJ, you talk too much. Oh, RJ, you always have something to say. Oh, RJ, why are you so strikingly handsome?
Wait, but you do talk a lot.
I do, because
You add details that only you understand because you were there.
yeah, but you can at least envision it in your head. That's the whole purpose of it.
That's not how you tell a story, man.
I don't know. I'm just the greatest storyteller of all time. Next to Hideo Kojima. Shout out to Metal Gear Solid. But regardless, I'm sorry.
You're determined to make this the nerdiest fucking show on the planet.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'm not. I get girls.
Look, for lack of a better word, nigga. Let's be real, okay?
Yeah, I'm very real. I'm as real as it gets.
This motherfucker.
There we go. Good old Doc Emmett Brown. But regardless, hopefully everybody does enjoy their 4th of July weekend.
Oh,
And,
Jesus Christ with the 4th of July.
it's important.
No, it's not.
It's American independence.
Oh, shut up.
It's the country you defended, sir, and you
All right,
still do.
All right, fucking. Where were you the day of July or June, January? Of January 6th?
I was at work.
Oh, that's what you call work? Running up in Nancy Pelosi's office? and
That's
shit?
not what I was doing, you dipshit. And if anybody's office needs to be, I mean, I ain't really all mad about that. Oh, yeah, you know what I mean. But I did not invade the Capitol, folks. I did not do that. That takes a lot of fucking. Imagine your mindset.
This was RJ going into the fucking into the Capitol on January 6th.
Dude, I swear, that's such a great video. He was like, all right, guys, everybody
We
ready?"
know the video. Everybody who's ever been on the internet knows the
Oh,
video.
Man, it's such a great video, dude. I love it.
We all know.
And you said...
I bet you didn't even know what game they were playing.
Isn't it like D&D or something like that?
Nah, son. World of Warcraft.
That's right. But I also remember you telling me that...
The gamer doesn't know what game they were playing. But anyway.
I am the gamer. I am the guru gamer.
Not according
Please
to...
refer to me as grandfather guru
Not according
gamer.
to the chat, my friend. Not according to the chat.
You mean RJ's Hateful Fan Club?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Hateful Fan Club. I wouldn't be able to be here without you.
Emotional damage.
It probably is to some degree. If I had to,
Those
guess.
are going to get played way too much.
Yeah, here. Swap the page while you can. No, but I remember you saying that there was a, I guess they show that video in some sort of military exercises of what not to do.
I told you this?
Yes, I'm 100% positive you told me that.
Nah.
You're the only person that would tell that to me.
They showed that video in some military. I would not have said that.
Like, yes, dude, I'm 100% positive you said this to me because I was like, well, that's kind of odd. But you were basically saying, if it was you, who I was talking to, that they were basically showing what not to do when you're with a team and trying to organize something. Like, I don't know if it's as a gag kind of thing.
That wasn't me.
Dude, I'm almost positive.
To be honest, I don't even think that video was out when I was in the military.
Man, somebody told me that. And
it wasn't me. Couldn't have been me.
I'm going to have to find out who it was. Somebody literally told me that, and they were just like...
Because I don't even understand the correlation between that video and what not to do. And of course, you wouldn't just run in without your fucking team.
Yeah, but again, I don't think they're using it as a serious training exercise. I think it's just something to show, like, hey, don't do this.
It might have been a meme.
Like as a gag or something.
It could have been a meme you saw or something. I didn't tell you that.
Dude, I'm almost positive you did. I'm almost positive. But we've been wrong before. I've been wrong before.
Don't say we.
Yeah, no, we have been wrong before.
Just making sure you corrected that one.
We, as in you and I.
Nah, because I never told you that shit.
Regardless.
Oh, I saw the last Fast and the Furious movie today.
So you got to tell me, man.
I watched it under not duress.
I would hope not.
But I watched it reluctantly. I watched it.
Okay.
And even though all the way through it, I was still like, why the fuck am I watching this shit? Because it's so fucking cheesy. It is the cheesiest shit.
Dude, I could only imagine.
Being a car guy, like the action and all, I don't know. I will say this about it. I was very surprised at the character that Jason Momoa played. His fucking is very different from anything he's ever played. Usually he's played in the stern, like stone faced.
You know, the masculine man kind of role, yeah.
This is total opposite of that. And it was dope to see that I was like, oh shit, you got range, bro. I didn't know that.
Range is always good.
Yeah.
Range is good. Because if you don't have any range, you ain't going to get anywhere. You ain't going to get anywhere. That's just So I know the action. Now, granted, I haven't watched a Fast and the Furious movie. It probably since maybe like 7. I haven't seen the last few.
I mean, you probably need to catch up then.
Which is fine. I don't have a problem doing that. But I just knowing you and knowing the way these movies are, like in terms of action, I know this action is like way over the top, dude. Like,
oh no, it's
like cars launching across canyons with parachutes launching from rockets.
Oh yeah, you can see. Well, I see the fucking CGI, and then I look at scenes and I look at how the cars fucking, especially a car that's front heavy.
You know, you mean with an engine in it?
Yeah, a big ass engine with a supercharger on it, and it's jumping, and then you see it like in the actual take, you see the front end just like going first, but then they cut to another angle, and the car is perfectly level when it lands. It's like, bro, that car was destroyed. I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck.
That's nose diving into the earth, bro.
They wrecked so many fucking cars. It was crazy. We're talking about what up, Londo? We're talking about the last Fast and the Furious movie, what Fast X or whatever they call it.
Fast 10.
Fast 10, Fast X, whatever. It was just it just got. There were some parts that reminded me of the original movie, like when you hit the nitrous and it goes through all the parts and then goes out the exhaust and all that. But there was just some stuff. It was like, bro, this would not happen in anyone's life ever.
I feel like Terminator is more
And
believable.
how you go from being street racers
to saving the
to
planet.
fucking goddamn secret agents. Like, what the fuck are we talking about right now?
Dude, Fast and the Furious is the most convoluted franchise.
It's so wild, bro. This is like, and everybody's like, "Oh, I enjoy them." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know." I look at it and I can see the fake. I can see the CGI. I can see just so much fakeness. But I was mildly entertained through the whole thing.
I mean,
that's the sad part about it.
I would think. I mean, those movies are really designed to be the blockbuster popcorn action flicks for the summer. I mean, even as outlandish as they might be. And when I go watch a movie like that in particular, I kind of don't have any level of expectation to be overly entertained. I think now...
No, I wasn't... I knew that. I already, like I said, I knew I was going into it, like, not expecting much. But it's just, at this point, it's like, I don't even know, like, how did this character come back, and wasn't this motherfucker dead? And, oh, this motherfucker's back now? Like, I thought she was dead, too. It's like, what is happening? And now she's in a fucking submarine? Like, what is going on?
Submarines are a very touchy subject here in the recent weeks, but that's okay.
Ain't that touchy.
Nah.
Fucking sound like
Oh, man.
that damn cartoon character.
No, you mean the dog?
Yeah.
No, dude. Whatchamacallit? Do you have... Oh, sorry. No, but... So, what I think when I go to watch these movies is what can they think of next in terms of, wow, that's fucking believable.
They have gone so far past, actually, Lon said Fast 11 is so unrealistic, it will have an Avengers collab.
Dude, it probably will.
Well, the end credit scene from Fast and the Furious is like, I don't want to give it away because if you see it, then you see it. But there's this thing that's like, we didn't think this person was coming back ever either. But
they show up.
Boom.
So from my understanding, there is...
And if they put Paul Walker in one more fucking film, I'm done.
Yeah, I think that is not cool.
No, it's beyond... It's beyond its usage now.
It gets it's almost like I guess Tupac still coming out with albums or just like after a while it's just like, hey, we get it.
Nah, that's different because Tupac probably could have had a bunch of stuff recorded, but
I'm just saying after
this
the fact that
this
he
is
died,
a whole
that's
different
all.
person. Excuse me, a whole different person. They're putting his face on that person and then doing these scenes. It's like he didn't do that, and then, I don't know. It's just weird.
It is a kind of a weird thing, but remember, it's all about family. Family.
And yep, that continued in this movie too.
They said,
but this time it was familia.
Oh God. Oh man, dude, I almost want to watch this movie just to laugh at it.
No, you should watch it. But that's why I have that joke about the last movie.
Yeah, when they went to space.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck, like.
Bro,
I thought there for a second. I thought they were going to go to space again. But
if they did, I know you would have lost it, man.
I would have lost my mind. But then this time it was John Cena had built a cannon car. A car that shoots fucking cannonballs.
You can't see me?
Oh, it was so fucking ridiculous.
Speaking of John Cena.
He was babysitting the whole time. He didn't kick nobody's ass. Well, he did a little bit.
Speaking of John Cena, before you came over today, I was actually over at our Good Bread. good bread.
Oh.
I like good bread. Do
Yeah,
you like good bread?
It's all right.
We like good bread. I was at our good buddy Sean's house. There is actually a wrestling pay-per-view that happened earlier this afternoon because it's actually happening in the UK. So it started at 3 o'clock. So I went over there for about 2 hours, watched some of the show with him.
Did you guys pump each other's pud?
If we did, because we're wrestling fans, and there's nothing greater than being a wrestling
If
fan.
any of you in here have ever seen these two motherfuckers together, oh, you saw them on the show when they do their little "It's too sweet," looking like a fucking. They ride the short yellow school bus to work.
As our good friend Epic likes to say, soft heads. So, but regardless, it's not polite at all, dude.
Hey, man, you sent her in here with them titties. What you expect?
I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
I don't even know what that meant.
So they're in the UK for Money in the Bank. All right, Money in the Bank ladder match, and if anybody, which I know nobody watching right now is a wrestling fan.
No, we're not.
The UK has had some of the most memorable wrestling moments occur. However, they have not done a premium live event in the UK in almost 20 years, okay? Which is pretty crazy because the UK is a massive fan base. Some of the most current WWE superstars, and probably with other promotions as well, are from, across the pond.
Ooh.
You've got Gunther, you've got Drew McIntyre.
Okay, never mind. I don't care.
Yeah. So I'm just telling you, they're great wrestlers.
You're agreed, Londa. UFC greater than WWE.
That's fine. They're two completely different things.
No,
They are two completely different things.
I guess.
Comparing the two is like apples to oranges.
One's just better and one's actually real.
One is entertainment and one is like, oh my God, that guy's dying from this giant man choking out his esophagus.
They're a giant, man. They're the same size.
They're giant human beings choking each other to die.
They're not all giant human beings. Just because all wrestlers are fucking insanely huge doesn't mean that all fucking fighters are huge.
I would think that would be more so the case back in the day. Wrestlers, I think, are a little more, like, they're jacked, but they're not, like, big. They're not like Ultimate Warrior Hulk Hogan, beefy. You know what I mean? I hate saying the word beefy. It makes me uncomfortable.
Makes me uncomfortable as well.
It is. I won't say it again. So in terms of your massive beefiness.
I am smart.
I'm sorry. But no. But John Cena came out as a surprise in the middle of the show.
He's promoting movies. Okay.
He wasn't promoting movies. Believe it or not. And me and Sean are sitting there and we're like, what the fuck is this? And, me and him are kind of marking out a little bit. It's okay. Shout out to Sean. But he comes out and he said, you know why I'm here? And then me and Sean are like, yeah, kind of rubbing our hands together like Birdman and shit. And we were thinking for SummerSlam, one more match, retirement match maybe.
Nobody cares. Get to the point.
The point is that WrestleMania is going to the UK.
Stop screaming in the mic.
I'm sorry, my voice travels here.
Well, then put it. Yeah, there you go.
It doesn't look like it loves me.
Come on, man.
There it goes. Regardless. But no, I just thought it was really... I saw John Cena today. On TV, obviously.
So did I.
So we saw the same guy who can't be seen in two different places.
Oh, my God, bro. All right, we're done. Next subject.
So you walk into my house. You knock on my door because you were invited over, which is very polite. Thank you for knocking. And as you walked into my kitchen, as I was staring down at my phone, I was actually finishing up the final episode of this season of Silo.
That's what that was?
Yeah.
I thought you were watching some fucking cartoon shit.
No, I was watching Silo.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was. I would literally I have no reason to lie to you about what I was just watching.
That didn't sound like Silo, bro.
It was. It was like the last 10 minutes of the season finale.
I watched it the other night, so I barely remember it.
So I wanted to talk about it last week, but since the season finale occurred this week, we said we would save it. And the show is Silo on Apple TV, and I highly encourage everybody to kind of check it out. What I didn't realize
to the point
is that I didn't realize it was a book.
I didn't know it was a book either.
Yeah, so apparently it's based off, obviously, a book. And
that's why it's probably decent.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm not mad at it.
Now I kind of want to read the book. And
the show essentially, and Jared talked about it a couple weeks ago, and then I got into it, but we really haven't talked about it since. And so the show is 10 episodes long. It takes place in, a silo. Oh, my God. Go figure. That is underground with a population of 10,000 people. and they are in this silo. They don't know who created it, but the outside world, quote unquote, is desolate. You can't live there. You know, it's just uninhabitable to a degree. And throughout the first 10 episodes or the first season, you follow just kind of the story arc into the kind of conspiracy behind of why they're in the silo. I wouldn't say it's a conspiracy.
Yeah, because again, the reason I like the show so much is because we don't know what the fuck is happening until they know what's happening, and we still don't know because they don't know what's happening.
And so that leads me to the season finale, and I don't want to give
we still don't know what's happening.
Exactly.
We just know a piece of what's happening.
And so I will say, I am looking forward to the second season. I did like the way the first one ended. It obviously leaves open to interpretation, a lot of questions, which is the way most shows are, which is fine. I mean, you want to build on top of it.
Yeah, but this is probably one of the better shows that like TV shows in a while, to be honest. Like, because this one actually has me intrigued, and I'm not. I think this season was so good that I'm not like yearning to know what's happening next. I think we got just enough to be happy with, like, all right, so it does confirm that something actually is going on and somebody's covering some shit up.
Yeah.
But we still don't know, because it still could be fucked.
Yeah.
We don't know. But I don't know if you saw early on, I don't remember which episode, maybe it was 2 or 3, when there was like a power glitch or something, and the display switched and people in the cafeteria saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the wild part. So I kind of knew from then, but still the internal conflict that's going on is a cool part too.
And it is definitely something, like Jared said, folks, it's one of the better shows that I've seen in a while too, just from a storytelling perspective, because I'm just very big on that stuff. It really takes a lot for me, and I'm sure especially for Jared to really kind of be like, oh, this is kind of interesting, and to continue to be interested throughout the duration of whatever it is. Because sometimes you might watch an episode or two of whatever, and then it kind of tapers off, and you're like, yeah, you'll lose interest. This show is pretty well written, and again, it's based off of a book, obviously, that we've never read.
I think it's watchable like multiple times too. Like I could watch this season again.
And another thing that I wanted to talk to you about is Common, who's acting in the show, kind of as an antagonist to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was obviously a very successful hip hop artist, you know, early in his career.
Well, he's been an actor for a long time.
Oh, I know. But what I'm saying is that I haven't seen all the roles that I've seen him in. And this, again, some of them were several years ago. You know, he just played like kind of a side character, like a stand-in, maybe just a brief portion of it. But he really gets an entire role in this show, and I thought he did a fairly decent job.
Yeah, it was okay. I don't want to say it was okay. It was, decent, because I felt like the character was very similar to other characters that he's played. Like, same type of thing in John Wick. Like, he was like this bodyguard type, just serious person. No, I take that back. Yeah, so I guess he does well in those roles, but he also was in what was that show on?
Hell on Wheels.
Hell on Wheels. He did a good job in that. That he was still a mean kind of person, but he also had like a dose of humanity, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
He's been acting for. I don't even think he even does hip hop anymore.
No. I don't think he's put music out in forever.
Yeah, because he's been focusing on acting, and Method Man said the same thing. Like, you have to focus on. You can't do both, because you can't do well at music and then be a good actor at the same time.
Yeah,
you have to devote your energy to acting if you're going to be an actor, and that's what Method Man did. And I think that's what Common did. I don't know any. I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch of other rappers turned actors, but
regardless, his performance was not bad. I definitely liked it. And again, we encourage everybody to check it out and let us know what you think. It's called Silo, Apple TV. If you got a Fire Stick or whatever, just any way to watch it. Any way to watch it, I would highly, highly check it out.
Wait, Londa, which Dutch series are you talking about? You said more than any American one at the moment. I don't know what you're saying.
Londa, what's going on, buddy? Cheers. Cheers. To you.
But yeah, I thought it was a good season. I'm ready for the next season.
So in between watching that and Al, you know what I'm going to say.
Bro, we're not talking about that today.
We can talk about it all the time.
No, we're not.
Forever.
We're not bringing it up, and Al's not in here, so that's fine.
Well, he's too busy enjoying Canada Day with the syrup.
Yeah, we're not talking about that.
It's excellent.
Because, no, you're going to spend the next fucking 20 minutes fucking babbling on about fucking that game, and nobody cares that much.
You should. It's fun. It's a lot
It
of fun.
can be fun all you want, but I'm not going to play it, and I doubt anybody else besides you and Al are going to play it. There's no games out right now that I want to play.
I think we got the summertime with a lot of things is kind of like a drought period with certain levels of entertainment. So I'm expecting it to carry me through the duration of the summer, regardless. Oh shit! What was I gonna say? Fuck. Oh, I'm having a brain fart. No.
It's because you were probably drinking with fucking Sean while you were watching.
I had one beer the entire time I was over.
Mm-hmm.
A drink. As like, hey, thanks for having me over here. Thanks for letting me be, blah, blah, blah. That kind of thing. Because drinking is bad for you, Jared. It makes you dumb.
Okay.
All right. I'm glad we can agree on that.
Nobody said it made it any different. Fuck.
So the show that I started watching, that's what I was going to say.
Okay.
On Paramount Plus, and I'm only maybe 4 or 5 episodes in. Apparently, there's 3 seasons of the show. I don't know where it came from, but it's called Under the Dome. And essentially,
you told me about it.
Yeah. So essentially, or I wouldn't say essentially, this giant, invisible dome.
I do remember seeing a commercial for that. Now that I think about it, like somebody came in and put it down on them or something.
It apparently just kind of came from the sky. So it takes place in this town. I can't remember the location, forgive me. But this giant dome kind of covers up this entire little town. And throughout the several episodes that I've seen, they're trying to figure out what this dome is.
Oh, that sounds dope, actually. Is it in Dutch or... I'm not going to read it was a paragraph. So.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
You have to come back and watch it later.
Excuse me.
What up, Epic?
What up, dude? How are you?
All right, get to the point with the fucking show.
I am. Let me say hi to Epic.
I know, bro.
God damn. So this dome falls down, and it's just basically them trying to figure out what's going on. So I don't know what's happening. The military's on the outside. I think everybody's going to die, and that's kind of what I've kind of taken from it from the time being. And then there's some girl trapped in a basement chained to a bed who I don't know who she is. And it's kind of cool, but it reminds me of Lifetime acting. Yeah. No. I wouldn't say Lifetime acting, but it's not terrible. It's just not amazing, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I'll pass.
It's a little cheesy to a degree.
I'll pass. I also started watching. It came out. 2 episodes came out this week. It's called Hijack with Idris Elba. Basically takes place in the UK. Well, kind of in the UK, but it's a UK show, and basically he's on an airplane and it gets taken over. And I don't want to give too much away because it's only 2 episodes, but you're trying to basically get home safe.
All right.
I don't know if he's like this badass guy or what. They only hint at what he does for a living. But it's right now it seems pretty good. But it's just I don't think he's really done anything bad, to be honest.
There are certain people who when they make stuff, and I actually talked about this with Sean because they showed a preview of it. What I wanted to see if you would like to go see in theaters here in about 2 weeks is going to be the new Mission Impossible movie. I guess it's, what is it? Mission Impossible, like Dead Protocol or something like that.
There was Ghost Protocol. That was
that's what I was thinking of. But it's part 1 because the sequel to this one is coming out next summer. But I watched it and we've talked about it before. Have you ever really watched a bad Tom Cruise movie?
No, we definitely we talked about this.
Yeah.
Because I said that Tom Cruise is one of my top 3 probably actors.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's something around there that's not the greatest. I liked Oblivion. It didn't do well in theaters.
Is that the one with Halle Berry? No, I'm thinking of Tom Hanks. What's that one where they like live in the sky? Halle Berry. I'm almost. I think it's Tom Hanks.
Yeah, it's Tom Hanks. It's like that movie was trash.
It was weird. Yeah.
But this was a movie, and I don't remember the other girl's name. Yeah, I do. I don't remember her name. She's a French and Ukrainian actress. She was in one of the James Bonds. She's been in a bunch of movies. She was in something I was watching recently. But anyway, it's basically about him. The Earth has been destroyed, and there's these machines that, like, he's a repairman. But there's these machines that come around and kind of patrol the area trying to kill any humans. But then you've never seen this movie?
Is it called like The End of Tomorrow?
No, it's called Oblivion.
No, yes, I have seen this. I've probably only seen it like once when it came out. I know what it is.
Yeah.
Could you pull it up just so I can refresh my memory? I know I've seen it because any movie that he's in, I've seen it. Like Risky Business, Any Given Sunday, like any Tom Cruise film I've seen. But I'm pretty sure I've only seen this once, and that chick is hot.
That's what I was talking about. Hold on.
Yes, I have seen this movie.
Hold on. God damn it.
When did it come out though? That's 2013. Okay. So yes, I have seen this, but I saw it in theaters.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Olga, I can't say her name, or can't even see it from here.
Ooh, does it say like
she's been in a lot of stuff. She's been in a actually I could show you exactly what she's been in recently. Yeah, Quantum of Solace was the James Bond movie I was talking about. She was in Black Widow.
No, she looks like she's in Extraction 2.
Oh, yeah, she was in Extraction 2. I saw that, too.
Yeah, and it's funny. The day after you had told me you had watched it, I went out to brunch last Sunday with a couple of my high school buddies down at the Wharf, which was really nice to see. Shout out to those guys. Good to see you. And I'm not a big seafood guy by any means, so I ended up getting a sandwich like a normal white American. But when I left...
Yeah, you remember this?
Yes, I have seen this film.
Okay.
I did see this.
I liked it. It didn't do well in the theaters, but I thought it was a good film.
It's
a good sci-fi flick. That's what I liked about it.
Well, I think some of the most famous movies, like in terms of popularity, I think some of them initially tanked at the box office.
Yeah, usually. But Oblivion still didn't do well in general.
And the one that initially comes to mind, and this might not be a very, very good example, but I still like it, was Scarface with Al Pacino. When it came out, it didn't do very well in the box office, and apparently
I don't think people were ready for that.
Well, apparently it was rated like X when it first came out in the 80s.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so I mean, for those who don't know what rated X is, for the people who have been living under a rock their whole lives, it's like the step above rated R. It's like the real shit. And then there's like X and then double X and triple X and all this, not to be confused with Vin Diesel, even though we were talking about him not too long ago. But
RJ knows all about triple X films.
I do. And that's okay, folks. That's all right. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think... certain films, after a while, they gain, that cult following, and they just eventually become a cult classic to a degree. And Scarface, I feel, got really popular around the time, or its comeback, where they were coming out with anniversary sets and all this other stuff back when I was in high school. So I just look at that as a very good example of something that, hey, it may have bombed in the box office, but who knows? Maybe 5 years from now, people are going to be like, oh, yeah. the Oblivion Collector's Edition. It was this. It was that.
Nah, they're not. That's not happening.
Well, even if it doesn't, I'm just saying. I think some great films initially didn't fare well initially. Because think about some of the bigger budget stuff that does amazing to begin with, and you watch it again, it's like this movie's not that good.
I mean, well, that's marketing. The hype, they build hype behind shit.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hit or miss. It's definitely hit or miss.
What were you gonna say about Extraction?
So the next day, not the next day. So the same day. So I left I bid farewell to my friends. Went down there, had lunch with them, had a drink, and I'm gonna tell you something, Garrett. I'm so glad that me and you never Uber to DC. I'm so glad we never drive.
It's too expensive to Uber to DC.
I'm glad we never drive out there, especially going to Nats Park. So I went down to the wharf for all the local people out here.
Wait, I thought you guys were at the oyster place or whatever.
Oh yeah, well it's on the wharf, literally the Hank's Oysters.
Where
bar.
we went that one time?
No, that's the salt line. That's behind.
Okay.
This is kind of by the park, but
got you. No, I got
not
you.
too far down.
I thought you were talking about the same place.
So I drove to DC last Sunday, and yeah.
I know where Hank's. It's kind of like toward the end.
Yeah,
I've been there. I don't know.
It was. I mean, the food wasn't too bad. Regardless, we had at least a decent weather day. It was hot, but the sun was out.
Yeah.
So I drove to DC, and anybody that knows me knows I hate driving in the city. I fucking can't.
Oh, you drove?
It. Yeah, I drove.
Oh no.
Well, I didn't feel like taking an Uber because I felt an Uber would, back and forth. It's probably like $100 almost if I had to guess.
Probably about 80.
Yeah, close to it, damn near. So I was like, here, let me drive down there. It's early enough in the afternoon, even though it's a Sunday afternoon, but I knew it wouldn't be busy because the Nats were playing, but they were in San Diego. They weren't at home. So
yeah,
I didn't.
It wouldn't be.
So the exit I got off of was the same one for Nats Park, and then I got on to 4th Street, right off of G Street, all sorts of different lingo I'm using, and I found where I had to go. I was like, all right, I'm here. And then that's when I knew the fun part came. I said, where do I park?
Oh, yeah. Good luck.
Man, Jared, I drove the block.
I already know.
Oh, man, dude. He knows. Jared knows. This is why we don't drive in the city. And if you live in the city, that's why you don't drive. Your car just sits there like a brick in front of your home.
Pretty much.
And I found it. I drove around the block a couple times, and I saw a sign. And bam, big letters, public parking. And I was like, all right, here we go.
Full.
No, thank God. But as I was pulling up, and I was maybe like 2-3 blocks away, maybe 5 minutes of walking from where I was at. So I was like, all right, this is as good as it's going to get.
I would have turned around because I know it was a lot of traffic.
It wasn't too bad. I go down into this little garage, which looks like some abandoned plumber building.
Oh, yeah, there's one right next to the Hank's place. There's like the hotel right there, and then there's...
So this is where I fucked up. Mm-hmm. So when you pull up to that initial area, it's got the roundabout, but it's not like
it won't let you go around. Yeah,
it's not a road. It's like cobblestone.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I didn't think I could drive up on it because I didn't see
well,
any
you
other
can't
car.
really because they will turn you around there, but because that's where the little fountain is where the kids play and stuff.
Yes, exactly. You know exactly where it is.
Yeah.
And so I didn't realize there was a garage right there, literally attached to the place I was going. And because there was no cars there, and I was like,
and it's technically attached to the hotel that's right there. So like,
that's right.
You won't see it automatically. You have to kind of like be like looking.
And obviously, when I finally got there, I was like, fuck me. So I found a parking garage. I pull down. There's one guy down there. And for anybody who's lived just in recent weeks, it's the summertime. It has been humid as shit around here, and it's been pretty nasty outside. He's got this little fan blowing at his little desk. And I was like, what's up, man? And, there's quite a few spaces down in this lone garage. And then I was waiting for it. I was like, how much, man? And he was just kind of silent. He was like, $35. I was like, God fucking damn. And I was
Could have just taken a fucking Uber.
Dude, and it hit me. And I thought of that, and I was like, fuck.
Or you could have taken a metro. I don't know how far. Actually,
dude, I probably could have gotten off at the wharf and walked like a couple blocks up to where I was at. Yeah. Really. And so I was like, man, fuck. I was like, all right, but my buddies invited me. They said they got the bill. So, I wasn't paying for anything. And thank you guys for that. But
they don't watch this, so you don't have to think that.
No, they follow us. They actually asked us how the podcast was. They asked me, and they were like, how's your podcast? I was like, oh, you mean my friend that harasses me? I was like, he's doing fine.
I'm not harassing you. I'm just trying to.
What a wiener, dude.
I'm just trying to keep the fucking show going. Like that's all. You know what I'm saying? People get. When you're a showrunner, people get upset with you when you're trying to run the show. because somebody else got upset at one of the shows because I cut him off, and then I was telling him, I was like, look, man, like there was somebody else who needed to go, so I was trying to get him on. Like, we can't have you up here for fucking 10 minutes telling one story that has no punchline until 10 minutes in, because people are not here to hear your fucking therapy session. They're here to fucking laugh.
Give him the good old Mike Tyson, the good old.
But I mean, I don't know if people understand that. I mean, shit's comedy. It's not fucking.
It's not emotional development. Jared, hit it one time, please.
No, it doesn't get that. It's not. This is not a therapy session. This is to entertain people.
We're here to entertain. So, I spend the $35 to park, and I'm already like, I was like, well, I knew that was going to happen. So I park my car. I walk out of the garage. I walk up the incline, walk the block and a half or so to the Oyster Bar. And we've got some really good seats outside, right there on the water, looking at the water, the local DC water taxi go by, which was kind of cool. And just everybody's out and about, and it's just like, man.
Yeah.
It's like,
see, ladies and gentlemen, I told you at the beginning, this guy doesn't go out very much. He thought a water taxi driving by was the most amazing thing that he
it was not the most amazing thing
in 6 months.
No, it's not. It's not. It was just nice to be out on the water. But dude, goddamn, bro, the city is filled with people. People fucking everywhere.
Yeah, but those aren't just people that live there. Those are people who are coming in.
Yeah,
those are tourists. Those are fucking Marylanders, or Virginians. Like, they're coming from everywhere.
I know. I already know how it works. It's like a vortex that sucks everybody in.
It's a hub.
It is the central hub. It is the nation.
I've been wanting to go to the Georgetown waterfront on like a Sunday again. I haven't been there in a while.
Well, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, I am trying to take some time off at the end of the month for vacation time. So if I am granted that, hopefully, please, Moss, then we can go down to the water. We can get in the water. Well, I don't want to get in the water.
Well, apparently they have a service now. I saw it on TikTok. They have a service now where you can rent a boat. Like, you take I think it was like an hour course or whatever. You can't drink if you're driving the boat.
I mean, that's fair.
But other people can be drinking wine and whatever. But I don't know how dangerous this is gonna get, because it's just these like 4 or 5 random boats that just people are riding around in. So, but apparently there's some service up there. I'd have to look it up and see exactly, but it's right there on the waterfront.
All right, that would be cool. Us just driving a boat.
Yeah, it would be.
That would be pretty dope.
Somebody would have to sacrifice not drinking that day.
That'll probably have to be me. I'm a great DD.
Why? No. I fuck no.
I am the
You driving a boat, you're insane.
Dude, I bet you $10 I could whip that boat. $10.
I don't want you whipping anything.
And dude, I know I could steer that shit like a champion. Dude.
We're going to look this up. Hey, you know what? Let's do this.
All right.
Let's fucking figure this out. I don't know how much it costs. We have to see all that, do all the details. And then I know we say this shit a lot because we were supposed to be recording a lot of shit. But we'll record this shit, and I'll hack it up into like a little fucking thing, and maybe I'll play it for one of the shows or whatever.
Yeah. Dude, let's drive a boat. Let's fucking do it.
Drive a boat.
Well, our
We
good friend...
we have a buddy who, don't say names.
No.
We have a buddy who just got a boat. I haven't been invited yet. I think...
Somebody that we know got a boat?
Yeah. You know. Well, you haven't been out, so you don't know.
No, I've been a hermit because reasons.
Yeah.
A lot of reasons that we can't talk about on the show because Jared's GAY gracefully asking you.
I don't know what that... First of all, what? Exactly.
Yeah, exactly, folks.
Exactly.
Deep river.
You know what? I was fucking watching something the other day, and that came up.
That's
and I was like, "This is where this motherfucker got this from."
It's from National Lampoon's Vacation.
No, that's no.
That's where I get it from.
No. It's an actual song. It comes from an actual song.
Yeah, no, it is a song.
But no, it's not from National Lampoon's though.
Well,
because Chevy Chase sang it. But no, whatever I was watching, it actually had the original singing part.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
And I was like, is this where he got? But now you say National Lampoon, I'm thinking Chevy Chase singing that.
Because when they're driving across
I don't care
the
that
Missouri.
I know. But my point is,
The good old miss.
the point is,
Such a great film. Sorry.
the point is, I saw where the original. I've heard the original song.
It's probably not as good as my singing.
Oh, it's much better.
Ah, you don't know that.
I do because I heard it.
Still don't know that.
The fuck is wrong, man?
Nah, nothing's wrong with me.
Why is everybody being so quiet in chat today?
Well,
The fuck?
Emotional damage.
Do you guys need therapy? Because this ain't it. We like to tell jokes.
That's facts.
We like to drink. We like to talk about butt and boobs.
Oh my goodness.
We like to talk about little sombreras. All right? You like my little sombrera? We got our ducks. We got our giraffe.
Can I ask you what a sombrero is?
Right here. This is sombrera.
Sombrero.
I know what it is. Relax. Let me be the typical white guy for a second.
I'm gonna let you be the typical white guy. You know what the typical white guy in America is?
I am not a racist. You said-
I didn't say it. He said it. He said it himself. And now I have.
Emotional damage.
Well, I wasn't there, so it's
You weren't where? You weren't where?
You know exactly where I wasn't.
Where were? No, please explain. Where weren't
I
you?
just wasn't around.
When?
A while ago.
A while ago. When?
A while, like, back in the day.
Back in the day, what?
Back in the heyday.
A heyday of what?
The heyday of Bayday.
You mean the heyday of economic fucking suppression of fucking black people in America? That the day you talking about?
You mean 2023?
You need to turn that one around.
Yeah,
real quick.
there you go. See, I am here. Can I get it at least one time?
Which one?
I am smart.
Oh, yeah, now you can make me go all the way.
I didn't know you had to hit too many buttons for it.
It's only two, but
I am smart.
Yeah, there we go. All right. So I got a good one, folks. Thank God. I got one out of me. It's good to get it out of you sometimes. It builds up. It's like tension. And then your body starts to, seize until you release.
what does that mean?
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, when you have, like, negative energy, like me, or just, like, a lot
Oh,
of...
yeah, I know. When you screamed at me earlier when I asked you to just move up forward, yeah.
I didn't scream.
Oh, you did.
I didn't scream.
That was anger.
It wasn't anger.
That was anger.
I'm a happy guy.
I saw it. I was like, oh, is he mad?
I'm not mad.
Good.
Fuck you, Jared. Fuck all of this. Your mom,
Look,
my mom.
Hold on.
It's like-
You said you got angry for me. I'm trying to say what's up to Epic, and Epic's not even in here anymore.
Probably because he's driving a boat, which we should be doing, what we will be doing. And when we drive said boat, hopefully we get a nice boat. I hope we don't get one
Man,
with like
boats
a
are
hole in.
money pits.
Unless we lived in like Florida or somewhere where we would use it like on a very regular basis.
Yeah, you only get 6 months out of the year here.
And boats are expensive, I would like to think, obviously.
I mean, you could get one for decent price, but you're gonna also spend decent money maintaining that motherfucker.
Yeah, you got to lube it up. You got to grease it.
Yeah, you gotta lube it up. You gotta drain it. You gotta winterize it in the wintertime.
Yeah, I guess it is.
It's a lot of work.
Now, would you be, and this is going to sound like complete bullshit coming from me, and it might be. It's very possible, folks. If we're going to do a boat, we need to fly a helicopter.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm just saying, if we go out and eventually drive a boat to some degree, rent a boat, learn for an hour.
A boat is nothing like a fucking helicopter.
I know, but it's a different type of.
You mean ride on a helicopter? You won't even get on an airplane.
I will get on an airplane. I just don't like getting on by myself while I'm high at 6 a.m. It wasn't my fault.
No,
They
it was
made
your
me
fault.
smoke it.
No, it was your fault.
I was a different person then. I'm a different person now.
So now you want to get on a helicopter. You want to learn how to fly a helicopter?
I think learning how to just fly, I think it would be cool. Like you don't
I'd
have to
rather
be-
learn how to fly an airplane than a helicopter.
Well, that's fine. I mean, one or the two, like a small little jet plane, personal plane.
Jet plane? Jesus
not-
Christ, you got to start with the little ones first, bro.
I do things big around here on the Mad Scientist Lab. That's why we've been successful for the last 7.
I've never heard of it, Londa. Bo is Afraid. Have you ever heard of that?
Afraid?
Bo is Afraid.
Bo is afraid.
So, no, we haven't.
No. I don't know what that is. Like, Jared just looked at me like I was fucking dumb. Dumber than usual.
I didn't look at you like you were dumb. I was asking you a question, then you looked at me like I was dumb.
Well, I just want to know if I said it right. You said Bo is afraid.
That's what it's called. That's what he typed in here.
Bo is afraid. No, I have not. I do not know what that is.
I don't either. He was asking, have we ever heard of it?
No. So, Londa, please.
Bro, you got to get on the fucking chat sometimes, man.
Now when I can talk to you the entire time. That's the fun part, Jared. Sometimes,
though. Yeah. Oh, weirdest film you've ever seen. Let's look it up real quick.
Ooh. There was a movie, and you're talking about weird films. I remember, I don't know the name of this film. I saw maybe 10, 15 minutes of it when I was a kid. I was at my neighbor's house. And his mom had rented some movie from Blockbuster. Again, don't know the name of it.
God damn, 2.9?
That sounds like garbage. And there was a guy, it looked like it took place in the UK to a degree, just from from what I remember, like the styles of clothes they had and just kind of like the grittiness of it. But there was basically a scene.
Oh, so Bo's just a bitch. Okay. I just read what it was about.
There's basically a scene where this guy drops his drugs into a toilet, okay? By accident.
Mm-hmm.
And he ends up diving into the toilet, swimming around in it, looking for his drugs and shit. It was such a very weird film. And
what was this?
I don't know the name of it. I don't, but I remember it very vividly because it was just a fucking weird movie. And then his mom was like, you know what? This isn't for kids. Not your 90s action, bang, bang, everybody dies. This was just some weird, dark, twisted shit. And so we went upstairs, and I don't know the name. I'll never forget it. I wish I could tell you the name of it. I really do. It's fucking odd.
And RJ had
emotional damage.
Dude, the guy was swimming in a toilet looking for pills. I mean, it was very fucking weird.
How do you swim in a toilet? He shrank down or something?
He didn't shrink down. He shoved his head in, and the way the camera was in the toilet, he had his hands like this, and it was just a very odd thing to see.
Sounds like an episode of Tim and Eric.
I don't know what to describe.
Do you remember that show?
I do. I've only seen very small portions of it.
Good, because that shit was weird. That and I guess the Eric Arnold show was back.
Eric. Oh,
yeah,
shit.
That shit's I tried. They've been having some live replays on YouTube, and I tried to watch 10 minutes of one episode, and I was like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Yeah, man. I like outside of the box thinking and things I don't if there's a little weirdness to it, okay, but dude, if it's really, really just yo, what the fuck am I watching? It doesn't entertain me.
That's
it doesn't.
What was it? Yeah, it was Tim and Eric, and then there's Eric Arnold. There are two different Erics, but both of those shows are weird, bro.
And
those are all Adult Swim. Adult Swim had some weird shows back there. Oh, they're doing the Venture Brothers movie. Well, they already did it. It's coming out on DVD or it's coming out somewhere. I just saw it on an Adult Swim commercial recently. And yeah, Venture Brothers. If you don't know about Venture Brothers,
check it out.
You're missing out.
Man, dude, when it comes to weird, and put it this way, with shows nowadays, I think with anything with the way of the internet, there's a lot of sexualization to an extreme now.
Oh my God, what's happening, RJ?
Nothing's happening. I'm just telling you what they did. I didn't do it. I'm just a product of it. Well, I wouldn't say I'm a product of it. I'm just being, subjected to it. Put it that way.
Sound like you're being a product.
I'm not a product. I am the. But we, it's I was watching something with my mom the other night, or she was watching. I got home from work. I sat down and watched maybe 20 minutes of it, and there's just fucking sex everywhere, literally sex everywhere. And I'm just
there's just sex everywhere.
It was. There was just sex everywhere, and it's not back in the the 80s or 90s where there's a sex scene, but they got the shadows and you can only see the one boob and all this. This was just full front. It's I was watching a porn with my mom, and it was very awkward. I had just gotten home.
That's why you just don't watch adult movies with your mom.
Well, I didn't realize that was going to happen. I had just gotten here.
Man, what movie was this?
It was some Lifetime shit. Yeah.
Wait, how do they have titties on Lifetime?
It was no, was it Lifetime?
Couldn't have been Lifetime.
No, she had her Fire Stick. It was something on something she was watching on her Fire Stick.
Oh, then it had to be like Amazon or something.
But I was just like, God damn, like this is, and I'm like, okay, so the scene goes by, 2 minutes, whatever it is. And I'm like, all right, thank God that's over with. Because, if you watch like an action movie back in the day, if there was like a sex scene, there was one and that was it. Maybe two.
Oh, that's so cute. You usually have to close your eyes during the sex scenes?
No, but I look through my fingers because I'm a real man.
But you're being a bitch about it right now.
No, but what I'm saying is comparing it to like the weird shit on TV. It's like there's just like, dude, I don't want to watch a movie that's just filled with sex. If I do
it's
that,
not filled with sex. It's one scene.
There was multiple. There was just sex everywhere. I'm telling you, dude.
You know what? That's how you know you're an American. Because you're a prude little bitch.
I'm not fucking prude.
No,
I'm not prude at all.
Prude.
I'm Richard Steinbacher, damn it.
Oh, look, full name. There you go. Everybody go ahead.
Google me.
Dox him.
So next week when I'm sitting over here and then Richard is sitting over here, that'd be a little. No, what I'm just saying is that like I've always wanted.
I don't know if he's ever been on one.
I don't want to know what he said. Don't care. It's not important. It's not relevant. There was just sex everywhere. But
actually, it is a real question. You know what? I'm going to ask
ahead.
I'm going to ask it. Since you can't read the chat.
I don't want to read the chat.
And you don't want to be a part of the fucking show.
I'm a part of the show. I'm sitting here.
Talking. I'm going to ask it.
Sure.
The question is, what's the weirdest date you've ever been on?
I wouldn't say it was a date. But
that's why I said you've never been on one.
I've been on dates. Don't get me wrong. Bush was in office. See,
weren't you in high school during this?
Maybe, but no. But I will say, the weirdest I think encounter I would say I had.
Oh, I just found out some new shit. Keep going.
Yeah, I remember years ago, and I'm not using any names, and everything is all good at this point. We were at the local watering hole, R.I.P.
Hey, man, you sent her in here with them titties. What you expect?
So I had this young lady come home with me one night. This was at my old place, way back, a couple years ago. And I'm thinking, all right, got the basement all to myself. And I don't even know if I should tell the story, to be honest with you. I don't think I should tell the story.
Why? Nobody's going to fucking... Shit, we had 7 views on YouTube last week. Ain't nobody watching this.
Yeah, no bullshit. Watch it blow up this week. Oh my God, that guy's a perp. But actually, there was a couple.
I think you told the story. You had somebody in your basement, and then
So
shit went off. That's not a date. That's a one night stand.
Yeah, no. But no, this one in particular didn't happen because so we go outside, we smoke. I'm thinking, all right, cool. Like, I'm about to get something, right? And this, we're both kind of tipsy.
Let me ask you something. Where's the date part?
I don't go on dates. I haven't been on dates since Bush
So
was
that
on.
was the question.
Yeah, what the fuck you want me to
talk
talk
about? So then we don't. That's where it ends.
I guess I can't tell the story then, folks, since nobody fucking loves me.
No, we didn't say nobody loves you, but we asked. That question was, what the fuck? It's not even on you right now. No, it shouldn't. So here's what I found out, and kind of fucked me up in the head. We were, where was I? I was somewhere, and we were talking about, I don't know, basically banging women.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. So
Yeehaw.
we were saying, like, how do you keep them around? Like what's the threshold? Like, how, like, do you make it good for their pleasure, or do you just get yours and you keep moving, or whatever? And somebody, basically, we were saying, I don't know. I think I was like, yeah, I'm trying to make sure we both get our shit, blah blah blah, because it's whatever. And the person who I was talking to was like, that's fine, but where they get you and how you get caught up in a relationship is if they ask you to go out. You want to go to breakfast, or you want to go do something after this? So I was like, oh shit, no fucking wonder.
Yeah.
Cause that's how they trap you. They hook you like it's like a fucking fishing pole.
Hook, line, and sinker.
They'll be like, oh, you want to go to do blah blah blah. Like after you did the deed, the next day you wake up like no. It's like no, bitch, I'm out.
You understood. You understood. See, no, thank you for saying
you
that.
knew the assignment.
Yeah, so I unfortunately had this happen to me in recent years. And, you know, you do the deed, everything's like, oh, okay, well, I'm an adult, thank God. You know, I'm still somewhat attractive to somebody. And this person rolled over and looked at me dead in the face and said, what are we? And I was like, oh, nah.
Oh, that's a regular occurrence.
Yeah.
But the sneaky ones will do what I was saying. Will be like, you want to go to breakfast?
Oh no, that
like because it's like oh, I'm kind of hungry. I could use some food, and we're just chilling.
You mean after I blew your guts out, you want something to eat? You know,
you paying though, right?
Yeah, that's always a plus too if they pay.
What about me? The weirdest date I've ever had? Fuck, I don't even know, man.
Well, I do have a good one. And it
then
does.
Why didn't you say that before?
Well, I thought about it. So,
I'm gonna have to think about it too. Go ahead.
So I believe it was my junior or my senior year. It was my junior year of high school.
20 years ago.
Yeah. Geez, that actually kind of hurts. But no, I mean, this is how you learn in life. You get better at things. So this was like a learning.
Go ahead.
So, it's homecoming. You know, I'm waiting for my date to pick me up. She's super awesome. Shout out to her. And, you know, my buddies, you know, growing up in Lorton and hanging out with the people I hung out with, and you might,
yeah. You keep naming too many fucking places, but go ahead.
So in a place where we grew, with people that we knew, good classics. Sorry, I couldn't help it. So my friends wanted to take some sort of enhancement in terms of drugs, lots of drugs, regardless. So me being me, and you know me, Jared, I was like, nah, I ain't doing that. I'm too cool for that shit. Mm-hmm. So about 10 minutes later, I'm participating in said activity.
Yeah, because you got fucking...
I was like, fuck it, YOLO, you know, that kind of thing.
Given the peer pressure whenever it comes.
It's all right.
Anyway, the date, bro, the date.
So I said, you know, whatever I did.
Yeah.
I'm getting to it. Relax. And she picks me up. And we're driving there. We go out to dinner with all our friends that I've never met. And everybody orders their food. And I'm just sitting there blasted out of my mind, dude. Like, I'm just on one. And they were like, what would you like to eat? And I was like, orange juice. Bring me orange juice. Like, that's what I told my waiter. She brought me a thing of orange juice. I didn't even touch my food. I didn't eat any of it because that's how high I was. And I probably embarrassed the shit out of her, which I'm sure I did. And then I'm sure everybody that I had never met before, this is their first impression of me, like, oh, man, you can do better than this motherfucker, because I'm just sitting there zooted out of my mind, dude. And so we leave restaurant. I got my to-go cup of orange juice, okay? And she was like, what's wrong with you? Da, 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 da. And I was like, well, I did this. And she was like, you did what? And just proceeds to fucking yell at me in the car on the way to the dance. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Is this prom or something?
It was homecoming.
Oh, my God. I would have been like, look, I'm going home.
Well, I was having a great time.
You fucked that up because she was obviously wanted to be with you that night. And
I still got it later on.
You decided to.
Well,
then I guess it is what it is.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
I would say that's probably one of the more awkward things that I have done. Just myself, and I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't know I was going to react like that, obviously. But we still went to the dance. We still had fun, and the next day, I woke up and I was thinking, man, why the fuck did I? Yeah, obviously the whole like, I shouldn't have done that.
I'm sitting here thinking,
and I go out and a lot of for anywhere in the United States, there's slang for everything. Around here, we call cigarettes, we call them jacks. Hey, you got a jack?
What is the point of that?
So I go out the next morning, and I'm still kind of like, whoa, all over the place. My buddy's smoking a cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, here, let me just take a puff. Like, fuck it. So
And you got buzzed again.
oh man, that shit came back like a huge tidal wave, dude. It was nuts. And 10 minutes later, I was like, holy fuck. I can't believe I'm feeling this way again. It just blew my mind. That's why I never did that shit again. So I just basically was too high on a date to comprehend what was happening.
Gotcha.
To a degree.
Sounds amazing.
She still likes me.
Okay. What, is it who I think it is?
No.
Oh.
No. People still like me, even if they hate me sometimes. So.
Gyros or tobacco? Well, I mean, that sounds like tobacco. But...
Gyros?
No. What they call cigarettes in the Netherlands.
Gyros.
Yeah. Gerroes or tobacco.
I like tobacco.
Yeah.
Let's get some tobacco.
No, not some tobacco. It's I guess it's a cigarette.
But let me hit some tobacco.
I don't think I have a weird one. I have an awkward one though. There was we started at Dave & Buster's and we were hanging out. It was one of our buddies' friends that he was hanging out with. She had a friend and she came along.
Mm-hmm.
And we were hanging out playing games, and then one night we were like, you know what, let's go to DC. And we went to DC, and we were kind of, you could tell we were both attracted to each other, but like at one point we went to the one club, and we were hanging out up there, and said person went on doing our thing, and then we came back, we were like, all right, let's go downstairs to this place, and they were playing salsa music because this person likes salsa. So we're down there. It's bright as fuck. This is probably as bright as this in here, and like we're supposed to be dancing.
That's
to salsa
awkward.
music.
Yeah, that's.
And we're dancing, and like I'm kind of buzzed, so I'm like looking at her chest, and it's like we're doing this just weird dance, and she was like, "I'm not feeling it," and I'm like, I'm not either.
Yeah. Thank God we both can mutually agree.
So we just stopped dancing and was like, let's get a beer and fucking, I don't know. That was about as weird as it gets.
I don't know, dude. That was pretty.
Gyros. It's pronounced Gyros. Gyros.
Gyros.
Yeah.
Gyros. I like this. If I wasn't awkward, I'd probably be happy.
Well, you can change to being awkward.
Can I, folks?
Yep.
Can I? It's not my fault that I was born this way.
We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up today. Before we do that, I just got to give RJ a little bit of. So, next time you go on a weird date, I think you should go in just like this.
Dude, I am definitely doing that. And what you guys should do is like, share, comment, and subscribe on the greatest podcast in North America, the world, and soon to be, you heard it here first, folks, Cuba.
Great Scott.
Damn right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to episode 188. My God, 188 episodes of the Mad Scientist Lab podcast. As always, it is I, RJ, the Pizza Guy, along with Jared, the Visual Mad Scientist, and you can catch us anywhere you get your podcasts. That is Apple Music, Spotify, everything in between. The Visual on YouTube for Mondays. You can have me and Jared come to your birthday party and make balloons.
That's a lie.
It is.
Assumption is correct, nigga.
We will see you guys next week. And again, have a safe, happy 4th of July weekend. Until next Saturday, folks, live around 6 p.m.-ish, live on Twitch. Thank you so very much. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Emotional damage.
Turn the camera off for the love of God.
I'm gonna hit you so hard you won't see nothing. Ever, 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 ever.
Audio skulls all day.
The Merit Scientist Lab. The Merit Scientist Lab. The Merit Scientist Lab. The Merit Scientist Lab.
You can't have an opinion on something that you haven't even tried.
Exactly.
The merit scientist.